After Effects can be overwhelming at first. Many panels, many things, all moving at once. But real progress doesn't come from learning everything. It comes from understanding one concept clearly at a time and practicing it. Every small improvement in structure, timing, or visual balance keeps building confidence. Stay curious about why the things behave the way they do, and not only about how to click through them. The more you understand the logic behind layers, effects, and animation, the less you will guess, and the more intentional your work will become. Consistency builds intensity. Keep building step by step. In Lesson 2, Part 2, we continue building on the same exercise file you created in Part 1. If you saved your work properly, open that file now. We are building directly on it. Or you can download the last version from the previous lesson from the link in the description of this video. In the previous lesson, we focused on structure, organization, and creating your first controlled keyframe animation. Now we will go one step further, finding the motion, improving timing, and beginning to understand how animation feels, not just how it works. This is where the technical setup turns into intentional movement. Let's start. Before continuing, make sure you have the following additional files downloaded from the links provided in the video description. These are required to follow this lesson exactly as demonstrated. From Lesson 2, Part 1, already used, lesson title PSD, Meadow MP4, and your saved After Effects project file. And new files required for Part 2. Flower 1 MP4 and Flower 2 MP4. These files should be placed inside your existing sources folder from Part 1. After downloading, open your Part 1 project file, import the new video files into the sources folder. Do you remember how to do it? You need to select the source folder and import these two files using a shortcut, Ctrl-I. Like this. Continue with the lesson from there. Now we will begin working with multiple layers inside the same composition. This is the layout and hierarchy start to matter. First, move the playhead to a point after 0, 1, 10. We do this so the title is already in its final position and can act as a visual reference. In the project panel, go to Sources, select Flowers 1 MP4. Drag it into the composition panel. The original size of the file is quite big, so we will use the scale, shortcut S, to rescale it, say to 20% or 30%. Let's leave it at 25% for now. Place it above the title, slightly to the left. Later, we will add another video to the right side. When you release the mouse, notice something important. The new layer starts at 0000 seconds. It appears on top of all other layers. This is the default behavior in After Effects. New layers start from the beginning and are placed at the top of the layer stack. You can adjust the position slightly if needed, but leave some space at the top of the composition. We will add another graphic element there later. What we are practicing here is not just adding media. We are learning layer order, visual balance, scale control, and spatial planning. Animation is not only about movement, it's also about composition. Instead of importing the same file again and repeating the scaling process, we can duplicate the existing layer. Select Flowers 1 MP4 in the timeline. Go to Edit, Duplicate, or use a shortcut Ctrl D. This creates an exact copy of the layer, including its position, scale, and any other transform values. The duplicated layer appears directly above the original and is automatically selected. Now we want this second inset to appear on the right side of the composition. There are several clean ways to do this. Method 1. Drag in the composition panel. Drag the layer to the right. After you begin dragging, hold Shift to constrain the movement to a perfectly straight horizontal line. Another method, method 2. Adjust position in the timeline. Press P to reveal the position property. Now scrub only the X value, the first one. This moves the layer left and right without affecting its vertical alignment. Method 3. Nudge with arrow keys. You can also use the left and right arrow keys on your keyboard. Each press moves the layer 1 pixel. If you hold Shift while pressing the arrows, the layer moves in 10 pixel increments. This method is useful when you want precise alignment. Duplicating layers is efficient because it preserves scale and style consistency. Instead of rebuilding the layout, you reuse it. This is the beginning of working smarter with multiple layers. Now replacing a layer while keeping its settings. One of the most useful techniques in After Effects is replacing a layer source without losing its adjustments. That means you can change the video file, but keep its position, scale, opacity, and any other effects exactly as they are. Let's do that now. First, select the target layer. In the timeline, make sure the right video layer, the duplicated one, is selected. Now go to the project panel, open Sources, select Flower 2 MP4. Hold down Alt for Windows or Option for Mac. And now drag Flower 2 MP4 directly onto the selected layer in either the composition panel or as I do it in the timeline. Release the mouse. The layer's content is now replaced, but its size, position, and any other settings remain unchanged. Now preview the animation by pressing spacebar to confirm that everything still works correctly. Now adjusting both videos together. Now that both videos are side by side, you might feel they're too large or too small. Instead of adjusting them one by one, we can scale them together. Select Flower 1 MP4, hold Shift and click Flower 2 MP4. Now both layers are selected. Since the scale property is already visible, scrub the scale value on one layer. Both layers will resize together. If you need smaller increments, hold Ctrl for Windows or Command for Mac while scrubbing. You can also slightly adjust their position values to improve spacing. Just make sure they stay aligned vertically. Consistency in alignment makes the layout look intentional and professional. This technique, duplicating, replacing, and adjusting layers together, is fundamental when working with multiple elements in composition. It saves time, maintains consistency, and keeps your workflow clean. Until now, we have been working with imported footage, videos and images. But After Effects can also create layers from scratch. One of the most useful built-in layer type is solid. A solid is simply a layer filled with a single color. We will use one to create a colored bar across the top of the composition. Go to Layer, New, Solid. A dialog box will appear. First, click Make Comp Size. This ensures the solid matches the full width of the composition. Next, change the height value to something smaller, for example 60 pixels. This creates a horizontal bar instead of a full screen layer. Step 2. Choose the color. Click the eyedropper tool next to the color box. Then sample a color directly from one of the flowers in the composition panel. This creates a visual harmony between the bar and the video content. Give the layer a clear name such as Solid Bar and click OK. Step 3. Position the bar. Make sure snapping is enabled in the toolbar. Click near the center of the top edge of the bar and drag it upward. When it gets close to the top of the composition, it will snap into place. Now you have a clean colored strip across the top. At this stage, you may slightly adjust the inset videos to improve balance. Composition is not only technical, it's also visual. Step 4. Adjust opacity. With solid bar selected, press T to reveal opacity. Reduce the opacity until the bar adds a color tint, but still allows the background video to show through. For example, around 75% works well. If later you want to change the color or size of the solid, select it and go to Layer, Solid Settings. This allows you to modify the layer without recreating it. By adding a solid layer, you have introduced a graphic design element that ties the composition together visually. This is an important concept. Not everything in a composition must be footage. Sometimes the simplest shapes provide the strongest structure. Adjusting color with hue saturation. Now let's refine the color of one of our foreground videos. You may notice that the white and blue tones in Flower 1 MP4 are quite bright. They may not match the overall atmosphere of the composition, especially the yellowish color in the background. Instead of accepting color as it is, we can adjust it. Step 1. Apply the effect. Select the Flower 1 MP4 layer, go to Effects and Presets, Color Correction, Hue Saturation. As soon as you apply the Effect Controls panel opens automatically. This panel allows you to modify the parameters of any effect applied to a layer. Step 2. Target only the blue colors. We don't want to change the entire video, only the blue tones. In the Effect Controls panel, find the Channel Control drop-down menu. Change it from Master to Blues. Now any adjustments you make will affect only the blue areas of the image. Step 3. Adjust hue and saturation. To shift the blue color towards a cooler tone, increase blue hue, for example to around +100. Then slightly reduce saturation, for example to -35. This shifts the bright blue into a softer blue tone, which visually connects it to the background. You do not need to use exactly these values, adjust to your taste. This step introduces an important concept. Effects allow you to refine footage without replacing it. Small color adjustments can significantly improve visual harmony. Animation is not only movement, it's also color, balance, and mood. Now that the color feels more balanced, let's give the left video a little more visual depth. Flat layers can feel disconnected from the composition. Adding small effects helps integrate them into the space. With Flower 1 MP4 still selected, go to Effects, Perspective, Bevel Alpha. Double-click on it. This effect creates an edge around the layer, giving it a framed look. In the Effect Controls panel, adjust edge thickness. Scrub the values slowly until you see a clean, soft border around the video. The goal is modest, not heavy decoration. Next, apply Effects, Perspective, Drop Shadow. Double-click on it. In the Effects Controls panel, increase Distance to separate the layer from the background, and Softness to make the shadow natural. Now the video feels lifted slightly above the background instead of sitting flat on it. You now have a nice visual treatment on the left video. Instead of rebuilding it manually for the second video, we can copy the effect. In the Effect Control panel, click Bevel Alpha, hold Shift and click Drop Shadow. Both effects are now selected. Now go to Edit, Copy. Now select Flower 2 MP4. Go to Edit, Paste. The second video now has identical bevel and shadow settings. This keeps the design consistent and saves time. Note: after copying effects, you can adjust them individually. However, if you change one layer's settings later, the other will not update automatically. In a future lesson, we will cover how to keep effects linked across layers. Now preview your animation. At this stage you have the title animating smoothly into a place, a subtle colored bar across the top, two videos with consistent styling. The composition now has structure, hierarchy, and depth. Before continuing, hide layers properties and lock all existing layers. This prevents accidental movement while we add the next element. In the next section, we will introduce our hero element, our flying bee. Before you finish, I have prepared a detailed PDF infographic that outlines every step from this lesson, from adding and duplicating layers to applying effects and refining the composition. You can download it using the link in the pinned first comment and use it as a structured reference while practicing. It's designed to help you follow the workflow without rewatching the entire video, so you can focus on understanding the logic and repeating the process confidently on your own.